Alright everyone, my name is Demosthenes, in case you haven't figured it out from the channel. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Something in the vein of like a let's play, or at least some, not necessarily a tutorial, but a way to attack the early game in MegaFactory Titan. I've been debating for a while now, doing a video, and I've collected a ton of footage. Didn't really like the way it turned out, so I made a guide on Steam. But yeah, I'm trying to find some intermediate spot where you can see what the early game looks like to someone who's played the game more than they should have. How I build, if that style benefits you or not, if it differs from whatever style you picked up, based on, I presume, your factory building experience. But my intent for this video is, and I don't know how long, it's a video and a stream. So, presuming no one comes to the stream, it'll just be kind of a how-to video. I've got a list of tips and tricks that I hope to hit upon, but hopefully the more educational piece will be just watching how I navigate the game, and maybe some things stand out to you. Hopefully you see something different. And if you're a totally new player looking to see what this game is all about, I'm going to be talking to myself the whole time about the decisions, about what I'm doing. So I do apologize for the people who are just looking for tips and tricks and end up having to listen to my grating voice the entire time. So, let's see how this goes. I guess I should preface this and say, as the title says, the new patch just dropped today, so we'll see how stable it is. Hopefully I don't crash. I think the more recent builds have been pretty crashless for me. So right now we're just trying to find the ideal spot to settle. And I guess one of my criteria, I would say, is need to have some sort of metal, aluminum, copper, or tungsten. Something that'll turn into wire. So we have, what do we got? Neodymium, got iron, limestone, don't care too much about. Oh, we have copper down there. The other big one is basalt that I like to go for. And the reason for that is it just, in my mind, it's just better than limestone and sandstone, and the fact that it turns into mineral wool directly, as opposed to the other option of turning tons and tons of quartz into glass and then mineral wool. That's just an extra inefficiency that I don't care for. Sweet. Tungsten water ice. I do like water and ammonia ice. Nothing worse than not being able to find water and ammonia ice. Actually, fluorite's also not a bad idea for something we would like to find early. So right now we're still exploring, and we're trying to find resources, but I'm gonna let you in on my own. I wouldn't say it's a secret, but so I think right now we boom, I got water ice, I got limestone, so we're gonna be good for early game concrete. We got nickel, which is huge. We got copper, we got neodymium. This we're pretty good to go. In the big ones, we got water ice. I think over here we even see fluorite. And for those looking late game or even mid game, this right here, hopefully maybe there's a platinum underneath. It's kind of a river, maybe down here continues on, so we have potential for platinum. Same thing over here, we have rivers. Apparently sperrylite is known to be in those kinds of areas. I'm not a geologist, but apparently that's a thing, so. So I think I'm about ready to settle down. Now, the little secret that I'm going to let you in on, once again, probably not a secret, but the most valuable resource to me in this game is space. So I think I'm going to try to settle down in this area here. Just because, yeah, to build a nice factory, you need to get an efficient setup. Nice efficient setup, and that means being able to build your factory with, you know, the least number of maglevs or the fastest path for trucks to get from one spot to another. So we even got petalite up here, which is good. Tungsten. I'm gonna go ahead and send it back, and apparently we have a new structure, commodities exchange. Lookout doesn't do anything, but that is a bomb-ass logo. Thankfully, they're not taking up any goods, so I do appreciate that. Already like this faction. Probably gonna start with copper, limestone. We're gonna go start down here. That stuff gets expensive really fast, and that's just infuriating. I'm gonna go ahead and just buy that from them and hope I don't shoot. No, I'm not going to. That would be shooting myself in the foot. I really don't appreciate how fast they jumped in there, but whatever. So let's get started on copper. Trying to decide which direction I'm going to build. Very kind of a one-track mind. They've already cut me off down there. So let's guess we're gonna build what's east. First thing, I'm gonna want copper. Okay, so what I'm doing, let's take a look. 20 wire, intermediate buffer, let's go with that. Building frames, let's go ahead and get started on building frames as well. My rule of thumb for building frames is I want 5 smelters. Yeah. I'm just lining this stuff up for no really rhyme or reason aside from wanting to make it look pretty. Need electricity, hopefully. No good power source. What is that? Oh, that's cool. That's a much better symbol. Or a cooler symbol. Alright, one of the things I cover in my guide is for any of your smelters, any factories that take only one input, in this case, either chalcopyrite, chalcocite, or malachite. Each one of these is an OR statement, you notice, so it can take any one of those three. So you always want to go ahead and put on the always request inputs. It give you a little, it reduces the lag, and it keeps that maglev full, as you would expect in a game like Satisfactory. I need limestone. Where's my excavator? We're gonna have trucks bringing our resources. So let's start getting mined. Okay, so we're driving towards building frames. I guess we need some concrete. Like early mid-game, there's just so much building that you always want that to be. That's why I go with 5. You could even go higher, I think. Okay, we're starting to get those. Let's build our research stations. Now, because I selected the guys I did, I get 3 research stations, and I'm not paying for them. So normally I would not suggest this. I would say go with 1 or 2 research labs. So this guy, I'm just going to pair up him to the metal, or to the wire, and then this guy, I need to get some they need power. Probably going to start running into some power issues. Yep. To speed my research up a little bit, for these I selected always request inputs, the important part is that to prevent jams, once this job is done, I need to remember to unselect this because virtually all the other research jobs are going to take more than one resource, and so I'm setting myself up for failure. So if this one is complete, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Let's go for extruder. Yeah, we got limestone. Just going to need building frames and wires. Wires already researched. We are on fire. Go ahead and delete that. I'm going to shorten this road up just a little bit. And I'm going to get ready for building wires. Downstream factory, build wires. Downstream from here, we're going to want concrete. And I typically go with 2 concrete. That's a lot of money. We want the money. The more money we get, the more land we can buy. That's pretty importante. Okay, so we should start getting wire, and we've got those. Let's set these so that we can have guys pick up from them, because we're going to start fulfilling jobs. Go ahead and build a truck. Probably got enough building frames. Yeah. Refinery is the next thing we're going to need. Let's start with that. It's going to need water, ice, and mineral wool. We need mineral wool. Let's get some more smelters. Like for mineral wool, I usually go with like 2 or 3. In this case, I think I'm gonna go with 3. And I forgot that mineral wool requires a factory. This guy needs basalt. How do I get basalt? That's basalt. Let's go ahead and buy it. Go for the money. We're gonna start needing the money. I need water ice as well. Mineral wool. Got the mineral wool. In theory, should eventually start producing. Actually, what I'm going to do is I realize all these lines are going to eventually start needing to feed into this research. So instead of just building and redoing lines, I'm just going to build a warehouse here. I'm going to establish those 3. It's probably going to need copper down the road. I'm going to set force equal division, and then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to establish a whole bunch of done goods. This warehouse is going to have a ton of stuff in it, so like 20 different other goods at least. That reduces the number it'll store, but this will prevent blockages down the road. And that allows these guys to come in. And then this guy can potentially feed all three of these research stations with different goods that they might need. Holy. That just seems a little bit unfair. I'm going to show you a handy dandy little trick, and this is once again captured in my Steam guide. With bullshit like this, make sure to access your autosave that's set to 1 minute. I'm just going to go load, grab my previous autosave. We're just going to pretend like that never happened. You don't want to get your factory off on the wrong foot, you know? There we go. With only 1 minute behind, all my stuff is still there. Didn't lose too much progress, and let's hope the meteor doesn't come crashing in again. It's lacking this line. Someone needs wire. We've got this happening. We just need more basalt, apparently. Have to find a way to improve that efficiency down the road. And this is what I was talking about where I screwed up. I forgot to turn this off. As a result, everything's kind of screwy, so damn. Ran out of room there. Is there anywhere else that we can? It's limestone. It's water ice. Stuff we're actually gonna get from over here. I'm just gonna destroy all the goods in the tube. What else can I build? A forge? Yeah, why not? Start using them. So as you can see, we're gonna start just flying through the building frames. That's why it's important to have early game lots of building frames. Missing anything? Got the limestone coming. That's good. We need water ice. Have water ice up here. Thankfully I'm not in dire straits monetarily, but really you are racing against time with this. Notice I don't care about how much that upfront cost that I'm doing, because I know I'm going to be able to recoup those costs down the road. But I just got to make sure I'm moving quickly now. Just to kind of build, expand, get all the resources I need so that I'm in good shape for progressing forward towards mid-game. Get a truck, water ice. This guy needs to accept the ice. Steel. And why not? Grab a substation. It's missing the water ice. You have electricity problems again. Fortunately, we're just horribly inefficient here, but I just can't stand the idea of putting down solar panels, and then my inherent pollution is reducing their efficiency. I got nickel in the area. I think I may have neodymium, but probably need to go for iron. Iron's always a big core one. Just gonna set myself up. Where, oh, there you got some veins of nickel. For each one of these goods, we're going to go ahead and set up a truck, and it's going to get costly. It's, anything to avoid the traffic jams. We are creating mineral wool. Go ahead and set up a prefabricator. Let's make a farm. Pretty light now. Stay put. I need to get a drink. Be right back. Oh, piece of advice. Like early game, it's probably fine. I know I'm set up to, you know, eventually get these, but you have to be careful late game when you have complex systems set up. Definitely want to pause the game, otherwise you can burn through, well, I'll burn through 1,000 a day. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the game. My better judgment, throw down some solar panels. And it's bright. Already using it all up. But that's probably because we have three research labs and they're all getting supplied what they need. They're just chugging through this research. One of the things I might as well jump in. One of the biggest things you can do for yourself is managing your maglev lines in a more efficient fashion. There's a few ways to do it. The first is using 45-degree angles as much as possible. You'll notice when you do a right angle, although it may take up less space and look maybe visually appealing or conform to the shape of the factory that you have going, goods do significantly slow down when they take that turn. By using 45-degree angles, there's still a dip in speed, but it's significantly less. You can see these goods just kind of flowing, and yeah, there's a dip, but some of those guys are actually getting up to pretty high speed and flowing through. The second piece that you need to be aware of is the number of junctions that you have is pretty much directly proportional to the number of traffic jams and or slowdowns that you'll have in your factory. Here we have a junction that includes 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. Even has like a fifth piece in there of 2 lines connecting into another, or that joining another line. This is just a spot for jams to happen. In addition, if all 3 of these factories, if all of a sudden I get a call order for mineral wool, building frames, and limestone all at the same time for a lot, this could start to get congested, and that's where you're going to start to see not jams necessarily, but slowdowns and goods waiting to move. And that's inefficient and drives me crazy. So we're always going to try to minimize that. So here we need wire and metal, and I do not have the metals yet, and that's only possible by the forge, so the forge needs to get its butt. We're not getting penlandite. Hold on. Yeah, it's just not getting penlandite. Do I have a truck? Awkward. It's because it's Garnier. I'm an idiot. Okay, now that I did have extruders researched, I need to start making some. Because one of the big bottlenecks early game that you're going to start running into is slag. I need to get rid of slag as soon as possible. And thankfully, the Novametric faction, the one advantage they have to deal with that is they start out with warehouses, and that's much better than having a ton of storehouses. So for now, hopefully I can just cram it all into 2 storehouses, only take up like 16 squares, and then once I get the extruders up and running, problem solved. Hopefully never have to worry about that again. Let's go ahead and place the farm before we forget. The other 2 I cannot fulfill yet. Now, one of the things you'll notice, all my goods, raw goods, metals, intermediate goods, are all going into this one warehouse. This is a strategy I like to use in order to kind of minimize the number of lines going to my prefabricators, my research labs, my garages, and my hangars. This one guy now, in theory, can provide all of those different resources, and it has them at a close location. So as soon as the research is turned on, he immediately pulls them in. As soon as it gets emptied from the warehouse, he calls it from the downstream producer. It's not the best strategy, and it's definitely not the only strategy. Hopefully as the game progresses, I can show you what I like to transition into to make it even more seamless. Alright, we got refineries up. That means I can make one for a job. So I'm going to have to goods. You also notice that, yeah, once again, this whole like, this guy ends up needing water ice. This guy already provides it for him. So I don't have to run new lines, set up new supply chains just to get a prefab to now do a new technology that I've researched. It's all right there in the warehouse that was provided to the research labs already. And it kind of gives me that central focus point where now, once I have steel, if I ever manufacture steel, I can make sure the steel just needs to get into here. It doesn't need to get into here and into here and into here. It just needs to get to this guy, and then from there, it's going to sort itself out. That's kind of the beauty, in my mind, of the automation aspect, or the call aspect of MegaFactory Titan. I do love stackable warehouses, but that's a lot of money. I'm going to go stackable. I'm greedy. We have an extruder built. Gonna need another extruder, but for now, let's go ahead and set them up here. This guy is just gonna reprocess slag. And I'm actually gonna move this all the way down here. And slag just turns into, well, reprocessed slag, and the fastest way to get rid of reprocessed slag is to turn into ground reclamation. I do there. I'm going to set this guy to always request inputs, and I'm just going to start chewing through all of my slag. Thankfully, I only have slag right now, so that only turns into reprocessed slag. As soon as we start getting sulfide slag and ferrous slag, then I need to find a way to get rid of the sulfur and iron. For now, hopefully not a problem. Let's build another extruder. What else can we research? Thermocouples, hydraulic pistons, working fluid. Don't have working fluid. Can make intermediate storage buffers. Why not? Keep the economy going. Really should have started with the forge. Get that copper. Which apparently I already reduced that line. Dumb of me. Really need that copper going. Just gonna turn this guy off. Why? Yeah, where's the wire going to? Also to there. Copper production is taking forever. Whenever that happens, I like to go explore. I'm waiting on a specific good. You know, it's gonna take a little while. No point in wasting time. Might as well collect money, explore a little bit. Go find the next big resources that I'm gonna try to exploit. We're getting the money, means we can buy more land. this just for the fluorite. I've actually gotten a little bit unlucky. I really needed a mission to give me a trash incinerator. Kind of give me a jump start early game. But just have to make do and figure out how to manage the power situation. And well, maybe this is how we do it. What's in and hot right now? Mineral wool. It's pretty nice. Do I have a lot? Got enough. How to sell. This is a new feature in the game, so I have no idea how to manage it. Let's figure this out. No one's calling for. It's calling for Garney right yet, so nothing's moving there. All right, we got a forge. Build a forge as soon as possible. We research forge. Let's build a forge. Let's see what happens when I drop off this stuff. Here we're gonna make a little bit of money. Show me the money. Yeah, awesome. That actually gave me, I was dumping them off in batches, and we noticed the price went down. Originally it was at like 30 something. Now they have mineral wool, they're lowering the price, lowering the retail value. Forge, bead wire. Really need a way to burn through the nickel, which reminds me I'm also going to need a way to burn through the iron, or way to make iron. Got a chunk of hematite there, another chunk of hematite. Let's go for this one, just because looks like it's a slightly larger patch. should be in good shape for steel and magnetic alloy. Let's go ahead and build forge. Don't think I need copper in the immediate future, so I'm going to send them back here. This line. Need iron and nickel. I lack iron. Actually, gonna stock this up first just so I can sell it. Got power issues again. Apparently he still needs copper. Never gonna get away from this. Where's my copper? No one's currying copper. Copper moving? Yeah. I forgot I need copper for the wire. Still haven't split my copper between the wire and that guy. Maybe I'll add another smelter. Because as long as we keep tabs on the warehouse, we should be good. Steel to that. Okay. Electric motor technology is ready, so now we need to start making them. You're the kind of guy like me who starts that just, you know, does the maglev spaghetti, then you'll start to see that real estate very quickly becomes a problem. This guy needs an output. Go ahead and move this line because we're not currently using it. Might need it later on, but for the meantime. What's up, Sean? How's it going, man? I'm doing a really awkward stream today where I've been talking to myself the whole time in the attempt of half doing a stream, half making a tutorial video for like early game and MegaFactory Titan. So yeah, just been a lot of talking to myself while streaming. A new thing, I guess. How's your day been, man? That's awesome. Glad to hear that, Uncle. What are you playing these days? game? Is it safe to say you love it more than Elden Ring? Zelda Fox, nice. What the hell's my nickel? It'll turn into steel. Steel. Not more than Elden. It's a really good game. That's cool, dude. So at this point in the game, we're going to start going for, well, let me explain. So you notice we start encountering things that are blocked out that require permits. In order to get permits, you need money, and it turns out to be a decent chunk of money. Let me see. So payoff, so 4,000. So that's 40,000. I don't have 40,000 now. Yeah, 2 of them. Start working towards that. But really, we need to start focusing on missions, and the way I do that is the extra money. So here, the extruder. Oh, don't have an extra one. You have a comm tower though. Ceramic and nickel. Another forge. Uh-oh. Power issues. I should research combustion. Not combustion. This guy. Electric motor. Yeah, why not? Going to town. Choke out the green smoke. That's cool. Copper situation. We have double copper. lot of money. Probably pay off our loan. Gotta be careful though, you don't want to dump everything in, be left with nothing. I always try to keep around 20k in the bank, so not quite paid off yet. Gonna get another forge because we need to make ceramics so we can do the thermocouples. Yeah, we're gonna need that ceramic. How do we get ceramic? A lot of resources I do not have, so maybe we're not gonna. It's time to start looking at bauxite. Yeah. That's exactly the reason why you want to keep another 20k in your pocket. Is turns out you're blocked by needing a resource. You need to buy some land to get that resource in order to progress the story. Be a shitty way to go. This aluminum, when it's not being used for whatever, well, really it'll just supplement. This is already going to supplement the wire situation. Let's need a truck. There we go. This is how we fix all of our power problems. It's a good chunk of them. Finally gives it to me. Our substation, thankfully I got them from our previous reward, and now we have a trash incinerator. Trash incinerator, we're gonna set this guy up to take trash. And I'm actually gonna need to this guy take start storing the trash, and we're just gonna start making a killing off taking the trash. Just, locate. I don't know why I'm drawing such a brain fart. Compacted trash. Voila. I don't think it's supposed to look like that. Let's go ahead and load that screenshot up for... Alright, So this guy is giving us 35. Already heavily improved. Ceramics. Which I can't produce. Maybe I can. Oh no. There we go. Power for days. Just by getting one trash incinerator, it just gives you such a boost. And we need glass. Sand. Sand it is. Alright, and just like that, we're providing ceramics to research station. As you notice, that's the second time now that, thankfully, I had the liquid in my pocket that I could just buy up that land immediately once I saw that I needed a resource to progress towards the next research milestone. Atmospheric collector, there's a good chance we're not going to be able to get this one. Even in 32 minutes, I could try really, really hard, but frankly, I don't want to. Just because I prefer to go towards a lake exploitation. And, yeah, that's a atmospheric exploitation permit I just never really went for. They're just not as efficient as the lakeside exploitation permits stuff, so not something I want to go for. armor-piercing munitions. That payout looks nice though. I don't think I can make them. I need explosives for that. I don't have any refineries. So I start making refineries. Notice I can't build to the right just because of these freaking land sharks. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Actually, I have an intermediate. Alright, looks like we got the thermocouple up. Let's build a factory to start chugging those out. Thermocouple, it needs the same thing as before. What am I thinking? It's metal. This is where it starts to get complex. This design here that we have. Need to get that metal down to them. Really, it takes copper. And then I need to get the ceramic to him, which is over here. This is where the thing I keep harping on, real estate becomes such a can't remember the word. It's needed. Ah shit. That was a bad idea. Here I've set myself for a jam, so I'm gonna go and destroy copper. So I'm never gonna get it. I don't have any working fluid. Now it's only nickel on the line. Just need those ceramics, and those ceramics are not coming. Looks like aluminum is the bottleneck now. There's not enough aluminum. I'm trying to double that aluminum input. Another headbutt? So much hair now. Alright. He can be cute. He can be a pretty good boy. Can you be a pretty good boy over here? That's a very good boy. Yeah, we will upgrade you from a pretty good boy to a real good boy. Real good boy. Headbutt? Pretty boy. No headbutt? Yes. Yes. It's a real fucking good boy. Let me spank you. Like the spanks. Yes, you like that, don't you? That's weird. Now he's just gonna scream at me for a while because I quit paying attention. Good boy, Mom. Alright, where am I? 6. 8:30. Yes. I would love, well, if our cats, well, Towboy's probably pretty chill around other animals, but Mo is such a spaz. Yeah, you would not be happy if Towboy was around, but I would. I would love to see him fuck with you. God, you're cute though. Now I'm missing nickel. Oh, we got some jams. So something of note, Anubis, I think I probably told you, he's gotten in the habit of like, he picks up a mouse or a fish or a ball. You can hear him, he cries all the way to us and he'll bring it upstairs, like whatever floor we're on, he'll bring it to that floor. It's just super cute. It's kind of a sweet gesture. And so we've started rewarding him with like giving him these like pastes, these tubes of paste that he likes, or treats. And so it's, you know, reinforce the behavior. He keeps doing it. It's awesome. Well, Mo, being the smarty pants that he is, yeah, I know, right? Paste is so delectable. So Mo, being as smart as he is, he has started doing the same thing. The tricky thing is, like, Anubis has like some sort of reaction where he has to cry. So he'll have it in his mouth, and you can tell he has something in his mouth because it's a weird cry, and you hear it all the way to the point where he brings it to you. So you know it's coming. With Mo, like, he hasn't figured that part out, but he knows, like, bring a toy to the humans, get food in return. So we'll just be like sitting on the couch doing so. All of a sudden, it's just like he's like looking at us. We're like, what? And there's like a toy at our feet. And it's like, I don't know if you brought that or not, but you probably did. It was really cute because he just like walks up like silently and just like drops it off and then like walks a few paces and looks. You gotta announce yourself like you are now. ice water is there. Crap, I just realized I guess power's not a problem, but if I wanted to, I could build more trash incinerators. Get some liquid. Thermal couple money, I'd like to say around 20k, so I'm not going to dump the cash just yet. Once we get this con tower, we're probably going to get a pretty penny, 7,000, and then we can almost pay off the loan. Graphite, ugh. These guys are already starting to ask for stuff that needs to be unlocked. Looking for hydrocarbons, and I can't do hydrocarbons until I pay off my starter loan. Alright, let's build another one just for good measure. Pay off the loan. Pay off some of it. Yeah, we're gonna take a leap of faith. 6,000, why not? Alright, there's one thing I want to do here that is actually, in my mind, a huge component of this game. Let's see what they want. Habitat? I can build you a habitat. I'm scared about being cash poor, so made a farm instead of a habitat. Awesome. Anyway, so you notice what's happening here is I have a warehouse close to my final destinations that I'm routing all my resources into. Raw, if that's the case, intermediate and what do you call metals? Processed? I don't know. Anyway, processed goods, intermediate goods, they're all going into this warehouse, and unfortunately this warehouse now is like stuck at 10. Part of that's because I have all these dummy goods, but I can reduce that a little bit, and now they'll start having more. And it's, I don't know. In my mind, that's a lot of housekeeping, because when you start looking at the goods in the game, the things you can produce, it just gets really, really large, I would say. The kinds of things you can produce, the resources that you can produce. Having this warehouse at the end of the line is just not going to be possible with a 300 capacity split over 60 resources. It's going to be like 5 of them. Don't check my math. So while right now it's kind of working and it provides resources pretty quickly to my research labs and my prefabricator, it's going to start being a problem late game. For this example, what I want to do is I'm just going to go ahead and relocate that. And you notice I'm left with all of this crap here. So what I could do, I could attempt to combine them all into one single point of failure. And frankly, I'm not going to do that. As I mentioned before, junctions are bad in the fact that, you know, however many points you have coming together and going away, that just potentially halves your efficiency and increases the possibility for jams. To eliminate that, there's something nice in the game known as the sorting houses. I'm going to go ahead and place a large sorting house there instead. Now, it's actually interesting the fact that the warehouse kind of had a max capacity of 13 for each. Well, this has its own capacity of 20 in the case that it has items lagging there. What I'm going to do is connect everything back up the way it was. It looks like it automatically connected everything. And now what happens, and the reason why this works is because downstream from this sorting house are all warehouses. They're all warehouses with different goods. Actually, this guy needs to be connected there. Yeah, it's all, you know, mineral wool, building frames, everything is coming from a warehouse that I already have the stockpile. So why store it in 2 places at the same time? Which is what this warehouse is doing. That's just, in my mind, a little bit of wasted efficiency. I put the sorting house in there. I'm going to go ahead and unpause and hope I didn't break anything. Let's go ahead and get a refinery. As soon as it activates, you notice that line lights up. And now all of these guys, those call orders, went downstream through the sorting house all the way to wherever those goods were, and it's pulling them. They're all flying through. They don't get stuck in a warehouse. Well, I wouldn't say stuck, but they don't get stored in a warehouse. I'm going to fill up that prefabricator with everything it needs. Now you may notice that, well, it takes a little bit longer to get there. It's still calling those resources, whereas if they were all in one spot in the center there, maybe just call 20 of each, boom, it's ready to go. Problem is, you're just, you know, it still has to call all the resources. So you're saving a little bit of time, but as long as your mag labs are all in an orderly fashion, you can save storing all your goods in 2 places. In addition, like I mentioned before, it allows you to get rid of some of the that bookkeeping that needs to happen every time you add a new resource to the to your luxuries. Now you have to go into the warehouse, add it as a selected good, reduce the dumb good. It's just a little extra that you don't necessarily need, or at least that I don't need. The one tricky thing that you have to be careful with sorting houses is you can't put two in series. So one of the things I would love to do, actually, maybe I'll just make this a little bit more efficient. This right here, I would love to replace it with a sorting house that they all combine in, they don't lose any velocity, and they end up getting to the place they need to be. But because we're still limited in the fact that we can't do that, I guess this one we're gonna have to combine together until I can remove this monazite. And then we'll have a separate line going there. Look at that. Done with our research, let's start building lakeside extractors. We've got to get that graphite. Still need a habitat, and in order to get that done, I'm going to go ahead and slap down another prefabricator. Looks like I screwed that maglev up, so I'll make it a little bit better. Let's go ahead and make a habitat. Worried we were about to have a traffic jam, but we're good. Looks like we're already running into power issues. Well, yeah, as soon as you start doing multiple research options, you're gonna run into power issues, unfortunately. Dang research labs. All right, getting all of our money back. Really want this copper block out of the way. But, apparently I'm not processing it fast enough.
Always two steps backwards. Too much gravity to feel the highs. And all these plans I've been chasing, getting caught up and wasted.
Electricity is going to start to really be a problem here. these guys. It's just a lot of extra text. Now we're gonna start having hydrocarbons though. And as you can see, power's already an issue. Yeah. Oops. Just trying to control Zio. Did not see what happened there. Are all my connections okay? Hope so. I feel like I deconstructed something. Oh, it was my slime. Okay, I think that's a good point to end the stream / walkthrough tonight. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully it wasn't a bunch of annoying stuff. In my mind, hopefully it shows you a potential design, shows you an idea of how to manage your inputs and outputs. This is just one way to do it. Hopefully that bit with the sorting house was somewhat interesting. Yeah, I figured. Humble. My voice is annoying, so I do apologize for that. Yeah. If nothing else, I would love for it to give you a different perspective on the game, the way you play the game, or for those of you who have not played the game, hopefully the game looks somewhat interesting. I will say this is maybe the first 25% of the game. If we look at research, we're tidal plant, so getting hydrocarbons is what I would consider. That means you've gotten out of early game. That's a tidal plant, and then it just keeps going. End up going to Sperry. Well, let me think. Yeah, pretty much you progress then to building your own vehicles, and then from there, underground resource surveying, and then you hit endgame. There's a lot of weaponry, honestly. Weaponry and spurs. So, yeah, just doing the tip of the iceberg here, first like 25% of the game, and probably one of the hardest parts of the game because you have to stabilize. You notice I was trying to balance that at 20k while getting those permits to continue to the next stage of the game, and that can be the hardest part. I know it was extremely hard for me for gosh, months during the alpha testing. So hopefully this helps you get a quick look into how to progress out of early game in 2.5 hours or so. By no means the best way, but a way to do it. So with that, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for anyone who's watching this now, and thanks for anyone who watches it in the future. Hope you learned